New to the running world and unsure about the gear you need? Fear not, I was in the same position just under a year ago. Hey, I'm Jack, an everyday runner hoping to help others learn a little bit more about running. Today, I'm going to give a basic running gear guide breakdown to help you get started on your running journey. I'll also throw in a few nice to haves towards the end of the video. Let's get into it. Now, it's not really a surprise here to see running shoes as the number one piece of equipment to invest in first. Arguably the most important piece too. No matter the shoes and no matter the distance you're running in, you'll need a solid set of running shoes to get you on your way into those training sessions. Now, if you clicked on this video and are quite new to running and not too sure where to start when it comes to running shoes, because there's a plethora online available, I would highly recommend going to a running shoe shop specialist to get you sorted and fitted with the right shoes possible. Often when you book one of these appointments, you'll get to try on a variety of shoes to get a feel for what each of them feels like, getting to go on the treadmill for a little run and sometimes even having a little track to test out how they feel when you're out there running. And there's a couple reasons why I suggest doing this when looking at your first pair of running shoes. Mainly because you can get your stride analysed at a running shoe shop. They'll look for overpronation and underpronation of your foot, offering either a neutral shoe or a more supportive shoe for you to match your stride style. Now, when it comes to pronation and underpronation, essentially it's your way your foot rolls in when it touches the ground while you're running to distribute your weight evenly. Now, most basic running shoes usually fit into two categories, the neutral and the supportive shoe. A supportive shoe has an added level of support, mainly for those who overpronate in their stride, while a neutral shoe is for those who don't tend to overpronate. The main difference between these shoes really is a supportive shoe will feel a bit more rigid compared to a neutral shoe, which will feel a little bit more flexible. There's also an added bonus for going to a running shop, and that is if you wear custom orthotics too. It will allow you to see what running shoes will allow the custom orthotic inside them. In my experience now, owning multiple pairs of running shoes, I myself have found my custom orthotics to fit in pretty much every standard running shoe there is. The only struggle I found was when buying carbon plated shoes and having to take out the sole that was put in there that was glued down. But I won't go into all those snazzy details about the carbon plated shoes in this video too. Let me know if you want to see one of those though in the future. And in my short running journey, I've already done this twice. The first was when I was training for the New York Marathon, heading into the ASICS shop here in Melbourne to get an idea of what kind of ASICS shoe would fit me best, that being the Nimbus 25. And then actually after my marathon too, when I wanted to experiment out of something that was ASICS, I wanted to see what the other brands had to offer and actually find myself running in a pair of Pumas and Hokas at the moment too. Second on the list and the right-hand man to a pair of running shoes is a pair of running socks. Now, there are many reasons why investing in a solid pair of running socks can be useful. One, it helps prevent blisters. Two, it helps wick the moisture away, so when your feet do get sweaty, it'll pull the sweat away from your feet. Three, it provides more comfort when you wear them. And lastly, they're in a range of snazzy colours, so I'm sure you'll find something out there for you. I find the difference between a set of running socks and my everyday set of socks almost night and day. Personally, I feel like running socks are more form-fitted to your foot and don't get anywhere near as uncomfortable when going out for your longer distance runs, compared to my everyday socks, which would cause massive blisters on my toes and also just get really sweaty and stinky. No one wants that. I personally like low cut socks, so nothing over my ankle bone, and my current running sock collection includes the ASICS low pace cut sock and the single tab road race socks. While I was in Japan, I also got a pair of toe socks, and I'm not too sure of the brand, but I'll put it up on the screen somewhere so you know what that one is too. Still getting a hang of them to see if I like them or not though. Similar to running socks, you want moisture wicking apparel that will help you with your sweat and also keep chafe at bay. Secondly, you also want to factor in the conditions you're likely to be running in too. If it's more colder where you are, you may want to look at investing in some longer compression wear to keep you warm during those colder runs. Or if you're like me, currently running in the Australian summer, opting for a singlet and a pair of lightweight shorts too. But how is running apparel different to everything else? Well, the need for the gear to be lightweight, breathable and moisture wicking causes them to usually be made up of different materials. These include polyester, elastane, nylon and even spandex, so it's usually a blend of those. Now, it feels like you'll need to invest in all this running apparel when you first get started with running, but this is my recommendation to keep it as simple as possible when first starting out if you're really looking to get into running long term. That is a pair of running shorts or tights, a singlet or a running shirt, a running jacket that's waterproof, one long sleeve running shirt for when it does get cooler, gloves, and a beanie or a buff. The last thing to consider is also when you'll be running, so if you're looking at running really early in the mornings or late at night when it's dark, potentially opting for brighter coloured apparel that even has some reflective pieces on it too, just so you're visible to all traffic and other people out there when you are running. Now, I looked at creating this list in a way that would cover in all different conditions and factors, and obviously, as I went through my marathon journey, realized like I was investing in a couple of pieces of equipment here and there just to really complete the collection. And by all means, I don't have that much either. Now, you're getting set to go out on all these runs and probably looking at different tracks and trails to go on, but you need something to record it, and this is where a GPS comes in. For some, this may be using their phone and using an app to track their GPS and their run. And for others, and this is my personal preference, is to use a sports watch or a running watch. The biggest reason that this is my preferred method is it's a simple, quick start and stop button for me to track my runs, as well as the opportunity to actually upload my different running workouts into it too, and being able to access that data via the Garmin app to see how I went for that run. And for me, when I do try to go out and get those milliseconds off my PBs, having the stop start button on my watch is a godsend. But honestly, the preference is yours. It's up to you if you want to use your phone or your watch to track your runs. Now, in this section, I'm going to go over some nice to haves in your running collection. And I only really started investing in these pieces of equipment as I got further into my marathon journey and found that it just added a bit of convenience to the way that I went about my training sessions. The first up is a running belt, and I purchased this because my current Garmin Forerunner 255 doesn't have the ability to connect to Spotify, so I do need my phone whenever I want to run with music. But they also come in handy if you need to store small items such as your car keys if you need to go a bit further to get to your running track, or if you're on holiday and need somewhere to put your hotel key. Second is a running vest, and this is mainly for those who are looking at going for those half marathon and above distances where you're out for longer than an hour and do need access to water. I personally found that where I run doesn't have many water bubbler stations at all, so I was finding myself dying of thirst halfway through my runs, causing me to invest in my running vest to allow easy access to water too. And also, as my training run distances got longer, had the opportunity to put my energy gels in my running vest too to have those on me. Now, running vests come in many varieties, some with the ability to put bladders in the back of them, water bottles in the front, and different pockets to put your energy gels, even the ability to fill up the back with a running jacket for after your run even. Another is a running hat, so great for those hotter days and also to keep the sweat away from your eyes too. Another perk of mine was when I bought it from the Expo, it has a little zipper on the top if you need to just put a key card in there for easy access and if you don't have your running belt on you. Another is a heart rate monitor, and this is really good at getting a more accurate reading of your heart rate while you're out there running too, and allows you to dig a little deeper into your metrics as you run. It's especially helpful too if you're looking at training at a lower heart rate intensity. This is something that's very important to me in my second marathon training plan and trying to keep my heart rate as low as possible for my long runs. You can never be too prepared, so having tissues or toilet paper on you if you are going out for a longer run can help save you many headaches too, and if there's no access to toilets where you're running. While it's something I've never needed to use, it's always just on my list in case of an emergency. So there we have it, a little intro guide into some running gear essentials as well as some nice to haves to add to your collection and get you started on your running journey. Let me know down in the comments if you think there are any other essential running gear items that should have made my list. If you're keen for some more of my content, I'll leave a video up here for you. I'm Jack, and I'll see you next time. Catch up.